Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Domingo and thank you for tuning in again. This is my latest project. It's a tanker articulated truck. It has a water cannon, as you saw in the introduction. It has a sprayer on the back. The capacity for the tanker is 1 gallon or 4 liters approximately. This is an expansion kit for my articulated truck, my dump truck. I have all the links on the description below if you guys want to build it and attach it to my previous project. You can have one for a dump truck and then the other one is the tanker, or you can have all your fleet of articulated trucks and tankers. Thank you so much for the people that have supported my channel and buy my previous project. Is a lot of fun building this community. Also, you can check my Facebook account where all the people that build my projects put their different photos of their build and share all the experiences and doubt also while building. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It helped me a lot and it tells the YouTube algorithm to boost this video for this kind of content or people that like the construction equipment. And I will lead you then to the assembly instructions. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. This is the assembly process for the tanker, and here we have all the pieces that we are going to need, like some tubing, glue, 2 pumps, servos, and the 3D printed pieces. For the tube, you have 2 front shoes. You have this vinyl that is really cheap, but it's tough to bend. And you have this silicone that is really easy to bend, but is a little more expensive. I'm using this silicone for the turret where the servo is going to move. So for that reason, I need this to be flexible. Another observation is that these 2 pumps, this one is bigger than this one. I would prefer to have it both this size to have more power. I ordered this one this size by mistake. So this is the 365 and this is the 385. We start cutting a piece of 3/8 tube that is long enough so you can connect it to the front part and that stick out here a little bit. We have to apply a little bit of glue here. And insert this 3D printed tube here. So it's level. Next, we connect these supports with some glue and some screws. This is the assembly of the sprayers. These are N2 screws, and one thing that I like to do is opening a little bit more these holes. And using these screws so I can adjust the pressure between these 2 pieces and create a seal that it will spray water over here. You can see here the little gap for the water to go. Now I'm going to iron soldering this part here, so it will be covering these gaps and sealing this part here. One thing to take in consideration, this is the tank assembly. If you want the cap to open this way, then you have to assemble this part with these hinges on the front instead of at the back as I did. I didn't realize, but I already put it there. It's a minor detail. I would like to open it this way instead of this way. Now I'm using here a nail, but you can use also anything wire, and you could this piece here. I'm going to prime the interior of this tank to prevent any leaking. Before doing anything of the assembly, you can put it this way and you can fill this thing with water and then see if you have some leaks, or in my case I was having some small drops here, water drops over here. So what I'm going to do to fix that is do primer in the interior and also then on the exterior, and that should seal those gaps in the plastic that are allowing the water to escape. This is the result after painting the interior with primer. And in this stage, we can perform a test of putting water here and see if you have any leaks on anything of any of the spot. In order to seal the water between these two pieces, I'm going to use this silicone. It's a general purpose adhesive, and it should work for preventing any water leak. And then for holding these two pieces, I'm going to use these tiny screws. This hose is going to go on the upper part of this entrance here. I also could 25 millimeters extension of two sections of those, and these tubes are the ones that are going to get the water from the tank. In other words, are going to be the intakes for the pump. And those two tubes are going to be connected here at the bottom, in this part. Here I have finished putting the three tubes, and here you see that there are some little room here for putting the pump. I have to work again the clock now and put this silicone and start putting the screws. Okay, we have the two first screws attached. Then let's continue putting the rest. I have finished to putting all the screws, as you can see here, and now we can remove the excess of silicone with a napkin. And we leave this curing for a whole day. Here we have the nozzle for the cannon, and this is a little steel tube that I have. I think it's 2 millimeters, and then I'm going to put some super glue to tighten it up to the tip. To assemble the servos for the cannon, we have to put first this servo in this little hatch here, the little hole for the cable, and then the other cable we pass the wire in. Like this from the bottom, and then we have it this way. To use this and 2x8 and his nut to secure one of the servos. Using a servo tester, we ensure that this servo is on the center position. We proceed to assemble this part of the cannon. And then with the other servo, going to be located at this place. So now we move this one and we move the cannon from one side to the other. We have to ensure there is enough wire so the servo will not suffer. And we secure now with the screw provided with the servo. Now I'm going to cut 10 centimeters out of this housing. Having done that, we can start assembling the pumps. So this pump is the one that is going to give water to the water cannon. Now to put the base that is going to hold the pumps in position. And we just slide this base. This is the hose for the cannon, water cannon, and we have to cut some, I think this is like 20 or 25 centimeters. On the lower part, we put this hose inside of the bigger one, that is the output of the pump. And this part is going to go in the cannon, but first we have to secure the cannon to the servo. Now this is the screw for securing the cannon to the servo. And then we had to put the hose inside the cannon, passing this hole here that is for the screwdriver to tie the screw for the servo. Okay, with that we are done there. And now what is remaining is soldering the wires for the pump. So this is my setup for testing the pump. So I have a water gallon then, I have the tank, and I have a power supply with 12 volts. Okay, it's working, but we have a problem here. one of the conversion for the hose. The cannon is really powerful. It's working perfect. This is the rear part sprayers working. They're working really good. So here we have an issue, no? This pump was generating so much pressure that it was escaping over here because it's not tight. So one thing that I discovered is I can use this pen tip, and it's the perfect conversion between the big hose and the small hose. But if you don't have a pen like this, you can use some silicone. The same one that you were using were sealing this one here, and you can get this hose and put the silicone around and then put the hose inside the other one. But in this case, since I have this pen tip, I can use that one. And the way that I'm using it is I put it over here. So I have this part ready. And then I only going to put it inside this one. It doesn't need too much pressure. It will hold the position there. Okay, now we can repeat the test and see how it goes. Second test. And let me turn on the pump. Perfect. We don't have leaks now. Only here on the top. Okay, we have a really high cannon power. I was able to solve the issue reprinting this piece here, and now it's not leaking. So let's see the test. Completely dry. Now we can continue with the next steps. Now that we have finished all the problems with the hose and the cannon, we can proceed to close the front. For that, we have to pass the cables through this one. And then use some screws to secure. And the cover is done. I already put these hangers and I use super glue for that. Now I'm going to glue permanently the sprayers here on the back. Okay, With that done, now what is remaining is putting the fence here on the bottom part. I have here already painted the tank in yellow. What I'm going to do now is with this bottle, I will spray some soap, water soap in the area where I'm going to put the stickers. So I have some vinyl here that I have cut already some designs, and I'm going to put that design here. I have completed this part of the stickers. I'm going to do the other side out of camera and then I will come back. Now this is the chassis rear part of the truck, and we have to start putting this together, and we have to route all the cables through this part here. I have passed all the cables to the front part of the chassis, so are these ones here. Then I can proceed and attach the tank to the chassis using these the screws that are here, or the mounting section that is here for that. There are the two screws that attach the tank to the chassis, and then two additional screws here on the bottom. And with that, the tank is attached to the chassis. This is the end of the assembly. Thank you for sticking with me into the end of the video. And if you bought it, just enjoy the build, and you will have it all ready to have a lot of fun. And thank you very much for your support again. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell and the thumbs up. Thank you, and see you on the next video.